messaged you because I couldn't stop crying. I didn't know what to do. It's like if I don't tell somebody, I feel like I'm gonna end up in like a really really bad place. Um. Anyways, it happened night of March 13th, right? I messaged you on the 14th. Um. Then I got irritated looking back because I was talking to the spirits last night, right? We were talking nonstop. And I told you I see repeating the first and last numbers when I see them are always repeating, right? Um, so March is 03, 13th is 1-3. It's still 3-1-3, right? So I'm seeing the threes again. I've been seeing threes a lot lately. So I got more irritated that day. Anyways, yeah, I was scared between March 1st and the 20th. I was like, I don't know if I can get through this after what happened on the 13th. And like, I had to tell you on the 14th. And then I know sadness and things don't look good on me. I know. Um, I came to film today even though I don't know if I can mask my emotions still, right? I'm trying really hard. Really fucking hard. Anyways, I'm doing better than I did when all this shit started, right? At the end of February, but I still feel like a monster. But anyhow, um, again, it'll be sudden. I don't know. Anyhow, point being now, I was feeling that way. I want you to test the energy for me now. Right? So Basket's asleep now, right? Well, not asleep. He's recovering. Cause on the 13th, I was gonna do it. Okay, there was no doubt in my mind. It was snowing that like the conditions, everything was perfect, right? I was going to that night. Okay. Um, Me and the spirits were still talking about this shit last night and things. But anyhow, I was gonna do it, right? But Basket was the only one who told me not to, right? Speaking of which, we renegotiated terms. I had to renegotiate terms with him. Okay, hang on. That night I was gonna do it, right? Basket was the only one who told me no. He used all the energy he had to keep me alive that night, okay? And then it took a while. Like I don't like it's I still feel pain here. But like they can't do much for me now, right? So he took as much of my negative energy away from me as he could that night. And he's still doing it, right? He hasn't woken up since. I'm kind of scared. I don't know, like him coming to help me, it feels like he's at a disadvantage now. I feel like I'm fucking him over with my disgusting ass energy. But anyhow, he hasn't woken up since. Um, he stopped me from going through with it, right? I had a dream that night, and again, another dream that made a little too much sense. So I don't remember which video I filmed, but I said Basket showing up as like different ages, right? But he feels I don't remember what I said. I just remember he's showing up differently, right? So yeah, I was gonna go through with it, but I didn't. Basket stopped me, and I didn't go to sleep until the sun rose, right? So like it was the worst experience of like my entire fucking life. Okay? I go to sleep and he used whatever energy he had left to show me this, right? So, and he hasn't woken up since. Now like I feel so bad because I was like, the shit I'm putting him through, I don't know why he would go through this shit. Anyway, so I go to sleep when the sun comes up, right? And he's fine. He finally gets a break because like um because my energy eases up at that point, right? So I'm asleep. Like because I was gonna go through with it. I didn't want to sleep at all because I know if I go to sleep, I'm gonna see some shit in my sleep, right? So I didn't want to sleep. But I like at that point, like I had to sleep, right? Um. So Basket finally got a break. I don't know how he had the energy to, but he did. So I'm asleep. Finally start to dream, right? The unexpected happens. So like I don't understand what the dream is until I woke up, right? In the dream, I don't know where to start. I'm sleeping and I dreamt. There's I don't know where. I don't know if like there's two buildings, right? How do I explain this? It's daytime during the dream, and I arrive at this building here, right? So there's two buildings side by side. This one looked like a fucking shack in comparison to this one here, right? Like this one looks, but like I can't. I didn't look at any of the other buildings nearby to like see which one's out of place, right? I don't know if this one that looks so rundown is out of place or this one that's so high end is out of place, right? But I see one really rundown looking building and one really like high end, really well maintained building. Okay, it's daytime during the dream, and I guess the roads here. I'm walking across from the road to this shabby looking shit building here, right? Okay. Because I can hear someone calling out for me, right? But like I don't remember what my name was at the time. I hear someone calling out for me. It's like a female voice. Um, age wise, I think I would have been a child. I don't feel like an adult, right? Like I feel like I can't tell you how old. Maybe I was like maybe 11 or 12 or something. Again, around, oh, that's weird. Coming back around to that. Somewhere around that age, right? I feel like I'm that age. I'm coming across this road to this building. There's a whole bunch of like other kids my age calling for me, right? It's all female voices, right? So I only hear girls calling me. So I guess it's my friends, right? I hear them calling for me, and then like I never see the inside of this building, right? So I'm watching myself in third person, okay, in this dream, because I'm getting this view of like I'm like where I am seeing the dream. I'm standing. I'm somewhere. I'm not standing. I'm somewhere in between these two buildings, right? There's like a pathway in between. I'm somewhere in between here, watching this happen, right? So I'm watching myself come across the road. A younger version of me from like a different time come across this road, interacting with these other children. I guess they're my friends or whatever. but I never see. I don't know if I go in. I think I went in the building, but I don't know. Like from where I'm in the dream, I never see what's in the inside the building. Okay, so I'm across the road. I hear people calling my name. Go in the building. Me being watching the dream, still in the center point of these two buildings. I turn to look at this next building, right? Because I'm watching me and watching this building, so I already got a good view of this. Turn to this next side, right? Because I was like, because I'm trying to figure out like where am I in the dream, right? Like I'm standing in between somehow. I turn to look at the really high end looking building next to me. Um, like the building's made of bricks. It's got a lot of like windows. There's vines on the all over this building, right? But it looks like it's intentional. Like I don't know, like um from one of like it's got floors. Like this building here feels like there's like two floors maybe there. This one's got a whole bunch of floors. And from where I'm standing here or where I'm here, one of the floors here, there's an open window and I can hear someone playing a piano. Okay? I think I can see it, but I can't see who's playing it, right? And then the dream suddenly it's like nighttime now, right? Like a time skip. I'm still in the same place, but it's dark now. And then again, I'm seeing myself. Um, I'm sneaking out of this whatever this building is, right? Instead of because and when it was daytime, I went through the front, but this time now that it's dark, I'm coming out through the back. There is grip on this building. I remember being able to scale it, but this tall, nice looking one, it felt slippery. Like there's no grip. If I wanted to climb up and down this building, I couldn't. Anyway, so like I am like sneaking out at night from this building, and again I go across the road and rush. I don't know where. Okay, so then this is what baskets at me. Okay, so then in the dream it's daytime again. I come back when or like the sun's just about to rise. Okay, and I come back in time to like I don't remember if I went back around through the back or through the front, just so nobody would notice I was missing, right? So it's daytime now, and me and the other people that called out for me at the start are outside now. The weather's nice. Normally I don't see summery type of weather, right? Um so yeah, we all come outside. It's just I never see any adults, which is weird. I only see me and these other girls calling my name. And I remember we were gonna I don't remember if we were gonna hang around in the front of the building or whatever. But then the people next door, right? Whoever the rich ass people next door are, they send over their like I don't know if it's like their butler or whatever, like whatever they call their servant. He gets sent over and he calls over for me, right? So I'm watching this. I'm watching this in third person, right? I'm watching this man servant come over to like my child self and tell me I have to go over there, right? Um, I don't know why I'm not allowed to move from this point, right? Well, I do now, but I'm telling you this, like, you're gonna be asking me why the fuck don't I move? Okay, well, I'll get to that point. Okay, so, anyways, this butler from the rich ass people next door come over and call me over, right? And I'm feeling, young me's feeling like a little uneasy because it's like, why am I being called over here, right? Because I'm thinking like I did something wrong. I'm like, there's no way. I didn't do anything wrong, right? So I go over to this, I'm following this butler to this building. Somehow I end up on, I don't know which floor. I'm not on the ground floor, the second floor. I'm somewhere higher up, right? but I'm nowhere near the top. The floor that has the piano on, I'm somewhere, I don't know if I'm on the same floor or below that floor, but I know I'm not nowhere near the ground. I know like the whatever floor he took me to, like if I were to jump out, the building I couldn't scale from. So if I jumped out, I would have like hurt myself falling out that level, right? Um you know, you always got to have an escape plan. Um that's scary to think about. If someone like invites you in their car or in their house or whatever, there's always the chance you get like stuck there. I fucking hate that feeling. Anyhow, so I'm somewhere in the middle of this building, close, not close to the ground, but not. I'm not midway in this building. I don't know where I am in the building. Anyways, he takes me to this floor because I can't see this now, right? He called for me. I follow him, and then the dream cuts to me in the room, right? So like I'm in this building, but I'm in this specific room now. This place like looks like a fucking, I don't know how to explain this. It looks better than where I live now. Ah, fuck, like how do I don't know how to describe it. I don't know. So he takes me to this room. Okay, we're in the room now. The door is here. Okay? I don't remember how big or wide the door was. I don't remember going through it, but I remember the door was there. There's a chair by the door. One of those like old time chairs, like it's like I wish I could draw so I could show you what I fucking saw, like or like you know like this round cream colored looking chair by the door. Something else was here, but I don't remember looking that well. But I remember I think it was in someone's bedroom, right? Because he took me to this room. There's a bed here, and the giant the window facing this other building, right? The window's here, and from inside, like if you're looking from the window point, there's a bed here. The door is here. There's a chair here. I don't remember anything else. I just remember being in this room, and I remember the butler, the man that owned the house, the lady who I guess his wife, and there was a child. Okay, so I didn't spend much time with the butler because all I remember was that first interaction there. He led me here. Don't remember anything else after that. Then I ran into the owner of the house, this man, right? And I was like, oh my god, I had like energetic wise, everything's going off. I feel everything's wrong. um like this dude is giving me the creeps. You know what I mean? Like I don't like that I'm in the same space with this man. Then his wife comes out from out of nowhere. I don't know where. Because the butler just so the door is wide open in this room. The butler just led me in here. I'm looking by the window. Then I turn. The butler left, right? So it's just me in the room. I'm looking out the window. I turn. This is when the owner of the house comes in. I don't feel comfortable. He walks into the room. And then right after his wife walks into the room, and then I feel comfortable. I was like, okay. She comes in. She sits where that chair is, right? I remember feeling okay after she was in the room, right? Um, I don't remember talking to the man. I don't remember if I talked to the man or not, but I remember like being uncomfortable. But when the lady came in, I felt comfortable. She was really like soft spoken and nice, right? Um, and then after her, so he comes in, she comes in to sit down. Then after she comes in, this maid comes in, nanny, nurse, I don't know what you call them. She comes in with a child and goes straight to the bed, right? And puts the child there, right? Like she's carrying this child. She's wearing like white. She's also wearing like white clothes. I saw a lot of white in this dream, right? So like, um, she didn't look like a maid or like I don't know if she was a nurse. I don't know. Like she looked. she's wearing light colored clothing, comes in with I didn't know she was holding a child, right? She was holding something, but I didn't notice, right? She comes in with these light colored clothes, and I didn't know she was holding anything, puts whatever she was holding on the bed, right? And then she leaves the room. So now it's me, whatever she left on the bed, this man and this woman. And then when I get a closer look, I realize it's a child when I go closer to the bed. And then I don't remember who asked me if it was the man or the woman, but one of them said they wanted me to look after this child, right? There's this baby boy on this bed. Or no, they didn't say anything first. I think they let me get close to see what was on the bed first. And then I saw this little boy rolling like he was gonna fall off the bed. So, yeah, I got, like, this is like a massive ass bed. I don't know what size. It's bigger than my bed now, okay? Takes up like fucking like half the room. I get a closer look, and I see this child, this little boy rolling toward me, and I caught him, right? And I was like, "Are you fucking crazy? You're gonna hurt yourself if you fall off the bed, right?" And at that moment, I don't remember which one of them asked me. They told me they want me to look after this child, right? And I'm looking at them like, "What the fuck? I'm a child myself. You expect me?" My ears are ringing again. Am I not telling the story right? You can correct me later. Ears are ringing. What was I just saying? Shit. Yeah, he was rolling off the bed. I caught him, and at that moment, one of them asked me to take care of this child. And I look at them like, I'm holding him, right? I'm holding him like this. He's heavy too, because again, I'm a child at that point, right? So I'm looking at them like, you expect me to take care of this child, and I'm a kid myself. I can barely hold this kid up, right? But I don't feel anything bad from him. He feels his energy similar to the wife, right? Like I feel her energy flowing through him. So I was like, I like the energy, but I was like, I'm a child. How you expect me to fucking look after him? What the right? Um. So I don't remember saying anything. I just remember one of them asked me that, and I looked at them and like what the fuck, what? Like right, I have that look on my face, like what? Like is this why I got called here? Um. I didn't say anything. I don't think I said anything, but the woman was happy and smiling, and then she left. And then the man said that takes care of that. Then he left. I don't remember. I think the butler came back, and the nurse or whatever, and maid, whatever, came and locked the door. So it's just me holding this fucking child in my hand. After they observed me for a couple seconds to see if me and this kid get along. I don't fucking understand. So now I'm in this closed room with this child, right? Logically, it made no sense, but I like this kid. For some reason, holding this kid, I like this kid, right? This is what Basket's showing me, okay? I'm holding the kid like this. It's just crazy to think. It's like I was asked to come over to take care of a rich man's baby. I was like, what the fuck? I didn't mind too much because the kid was nice, right? If he had the energy of the man, I would have jumped out the window and hurt myself trying to get the fuck away from there. So, anyways, that was my task. My task was to look after this child because he never, according to what they said, I was the only one he acted angelic around. Like he acted like an angel every time I was around, but anytime anyone else was around, he acted fucking crazy, right? According to, I don't remember who was telling me that. Anyways, yeah, so I had the kid in my hands, getting used. I don't remember how much time went by, but I was getting used to being around him. Then someone telling me that later on. So I think the maid came back in. She took him back, and then I had to leave, right? They were telling me how like my number one priority is to come there, like that room. I remember I was supposed to come back there every like all the time. Um, and I didn't have to worry about anything else. The man said he was rich, so he's like, you know what? If you need anything, it's on. I was like, okay, but I never asked for anything, right? Because I was like, oh my god, this could be used against me, right? I was like, oh god. So that was that first time, right? So the dream's still going, right? Since the first part of this dream where I'm dreaming about me going to this first shabby looking old ass motherfucking building to like this one, it's still going, so I'm still dreaming, right? Um Again, I don't move from this point, but for some reason I can see what's going on over there, right? Anyhow, that was the first time that I met the first time I met this kid, right? So anyways, according to them, it was my priority to they would work everything out, and I'm supposed to go back there. So that ends up happening for a couple times. Right? I keep going back. So the dream's still going, right? I keep the first time I see this kid, he's a child. Next couple times I go back, I can see him aging, right? According to them, he was similar in age to me. That's why they wanted me to look after him. And they said he only acted like an angel when I was around. That's what I remember hearing. So they thought I was a good influence on him, so they wanted me around him, right? I don't know what they heard about me or how they knew that or whatever the fuck, but they wanted me around him. Okay. So now, a couple days go by. I see this like we keep coming back to the room, and I'm seeing this kid age. But I always remember his eyes. The way his eyes looked at me, I remember that strongly. So I have to be like we're similar in age, so I don't like I the age difference has to be at least like 2 or 3 years, right? It's weird. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. It's like a 2 or 3 age difference as I'm watching this child grow in front of me, right? But I remember his eyes. And I remember one day now, at one point, he's able to speak now, so he can talk back to me. Because all I ever remember is how he looked at me with his eyes, right? Um. So in a sense, we kind of grew up together, right? Because I had to spend my days there looking after him. So in a way, we did grow up together, right? So, um, yeah. Now I'm at the point where like, okay, I had to be doing that for a while now because now we got to the point where he can talk now. So he has to be at least 4, 5, 6. I don't know how old. Boys usually learn to speak later than girls, right? Um, and then I think he said my name the first time. That thing, it like because it's a different lifetime, I don't remember what my name was. Um, then he's aging more, and I can feel him like every time I go back, he's talking to me now. He's asking me my likes, dislikes, things like that. Or like I don't know, like how do I explain it? Like it's like if he asked me like what kind of sports do you like to play, and I would say like soccer or something, right? And then he would say, okay, next time you're here, let's go play soccer or something, right? Like we'd be making. He'd ask me something, so he could do like do those things with me later. You know what I mean? Like he would ask me one thing, and then next time I was there, we'd be doing something else. Like it kept progressing like that. But I don't remember, right? Like the dream was so freaking long, but I remember it happened a couple of times. He asked me one thing. He asked me what I like or what I want to do, and then we ended up doing that later. Right? So we had to we have to be like 8 or 9 or so at this point, right? Or 10. I don't know how old, but like every time I went back, it was like that. Then one day when I went, okay, he asked me why I don't stay there, right? Because his building's so big and there's so many rooms and it's so full and clean or whatever. He said, why don't I stay here? Because he asked me why, he specifically asked me why I leave every day and come back, right? Because I always, like, after I'm done dealing with him, I always had to leave and go back to this building here, right? And his parents only said I had to be there until I only had to take care of him as a child, right? Once he got old, I could leave, right? Either way, I didn't really have much of a choice because it was like, what else was I gonna do? So I guess he's getting old enough to the point where like now I'm not obligated to stay next to him, right? So he asked me where I go every day and why I don't stay there. And I don't remember if I explained the situation to him on like how this whole shit started, right? Like how I ended up kind of getting forced to look after you, right? Even though like it started out that way, I like being around him though. Like out of all the people, like energetic wise, his energy was the nicest. So it had to be like a relatively like new, or like when I'm like not a far off lifetime, right? It had to be something relatively new, right? Because I could read, right? When I knew him, I could read, right? So he's asking me this, and I'm telling him, I don't remember if I explained to him what was going on because I didn't want him to feel bad, right? Like it would taint like all the happy memories I have with him. But I don't remember what I told him. I just remember he was okay with the answer because I told him I have to go back here or whatever. So I started visiting like less frequently, like less and less often, right? So like when it first started, I'd spend days and hours with him. But just as he was getting older, I started spending less and less time with him, right? So then I don't know how much time is going by, right? I can only tell time by like it being day and night. But I don't see no clock and the seasons aren't changing, so I can't tell. We get to a point now where so he was okay with my answer and he let me go every now and then, right? He wasn't on like a he wasn't fucking clingy as hell, right? Because he knew I would come back. I spent so much time with him, he knew I would come back. So he never worried about shit like that, right? He just asked me like why, how long, that kind of thing, right? So he didn't worry about shit. It's just up until one day I guess to see if I was telling the truth, right?